Well played, Republicans. Well played. Joe Manchin. Infrastructure bill tossed out, apparently. Nancy Pelosi claims they could save it. I don't know how. That's one of the things that disappoints me with this administration. Could you imagine a Republican doing that to President Trump like 2 years ago? Without paying consequences in some way? The way Trump would go out and say shit about the person, the politician, and then have them shoveling coal for the rest of their lives, or just forcing them out of he's governor or something, forcing him out of that sort of level of influence, right? If a Republican did that to Trump, he'd be done. It'd be done. That's one of the things you gotta say. As whatever Trump was, you have to respect that hustle that he had. That's the thing that disappoints me with Biden's administration. It's literally like the American people, right? And I understand everyone's nice, they're trying to be respectable, trying to be professional. But if you're protecting American people, right? The future of our children is in this infrastructure plan, right? The future of our country, right? I took the Metro North home tonight, and it was $9 for a 20-minute ride, about 18 miles north of the city. The tunnels walking in Grand Central, right? Not like a neighborhood subway station in the outskirts of New York. The center of the planet in New York, Midtown Manhattan, New York, Grand Central, water is leaking in. It hasn't rained in like 10 days, but water is leaking in the subway on me. I looked up, the roof is like crumbling away. Grand Central Terminal, in the richest city on the planet probably, after Dubai and maybe the African cities. New York City, where everyone comes, right? This morning I'm going to work. It was cold. It was like below 30 degrees for the first time this winter. It's Christmas week. Tons of homeless people in the subway. I go to my lunch break to see my wife and my daughter. Homeless people everywhere, right? I'm not saying the infrastructure plan is gonna like fix it like that, right? But I don't want my daughter going to work 20 years from now and seeing the same thing I'm seeing, right? Dodging like leaking water in a fancy train system where you're spending like premium prices, right, to go home. It's crumbling away. And Republican voters, how do you think that stuff gets fixed, right? If you're driving in Kentucky or Nebraska and your roads are all chopped up, how do you think that gets fixed, right? Biden is giving you guys with this infrastructure bill, right? You see it, break it down, and I broke it down, right? If the bill don't fix these things or infrastructure wise, right? 5 years down the line, when it's like, shit, I can't drive my car to work and I'm in Kentucky or I'm in West Virginia because the roads are so messed up. Taxes go up to fix that, right? You don't pay for it now, you pay for it later on. And the federal government, whoever's in power, be like, yo, F that, man. I'm not even gonna, like, and that's the thing, if this fails, no other president's gonna try to do this. Republican presidents ain't gonna do it. Trump said he was gonna do it, didn't do it, right? And of all the Republican presidents I could think of that would come into power to do something like this, or propose it, Donald Trump was the best bet because he's crazy. And he'd be like, yeah, let's spend that money. Let's get this shit fixed. Traditional Republican politicians ain't gonna do shit, right? Tax cuts for my rich friends, no health care for the poor, that's socialism. We don't want socialism. Health insurance for poor people? Nah. Education for poor people? Nah. Fixing roads? Nah. Fixing schools? Nah. Tax cuts for rich people? Yeah, let's do it. That's gonna help everyone. Giving the rich people a break. That's the only thing Republicans spit. And abortions. Abortions are evil. That's the only two things I've ever seen in the last 10 years, since Bush, it's always on the Republicans' ticket. Lower taxes, right? People vote for them thinking my tax is gonna be lower, right? No, unless I'm a billionaire, your taxes ain't going anywhere. You still gotta pay them. And if Republicans lower your taxes for a couple of years, you're gonna pay twice as much taxes to fix your roads and shit like that that's crumbling away in this American country, right? So I'm disappointed in Biden, disappointed in the Democrats. I'm not saying it's their fault, but Joe Manchin is a Republican. We're in a Democratic, on a Democratic ticket, basically. I mean, he went on Fox News and said, no, I'm not supporting the bill. After the week of telling Democrats, I'm going to support the bill. That's a good play. It's almost evil, but it's a good play. And I wish Biden was, he's 80-something years old, whatever. I don't expect him to be aggressive like that. And that's why you need like someone Democratic that's aggressive, right? I like AOC. She's aggressive, she's passionate, but I think you need just more than her. You need the whole wall of Democratic people to say, this is American people behind us, we're gonna fight for them, right? Joe wants to be dirty in West Virginia by canceling shit that we're planning for last year. And now he's going to come on the final day of the year, final day this needs to go through and say, nah, you're done. That's what they need to do. Get gangster now, right? And they don't do that. And that's what pisses me off with Democrats. No, I'm not going to vote Republican. I'm never going to vote Republican, right? If your ticket is only tax breaks for rich people and all that other shit that we need is socialism and it's evil and we don't need that. And if digging coal in West Virginia or mining coal and fossil fuels is the future of jobs, right? The day Joe Biden won, my best friend, Republican from North Carolina, was telling me, oh, a lot of people down south that I know just lost their jobs. A lot of people that's doing that pipeline shit lost their jobs. I was like, when Trump came into office, who do you think lost their jobs? Environmental scientists, right? I have a degree in that shit. I didn't get any work, right? Did you cry for me? No. You can cry for some random hillbilly coal miner in West Virginia that don't have health insurance, right? That's making minimum wage, digging shit out of the ground. That's making one or two old white guys rich. That's your hero, right? That's your champion. He just lost his job. Oh well. And I told him, I'm like, well, I think Biden's plan is pretty good. He's gonna improve education, maybe lower college tuitions, so these coal miners' kids could go to college and get green jobs, making 6 figures, sitting in an office typing in a keyboard, in a tower, right? I've never been to West Virginia, but I'm sure if I go tonight and interview anyone digging coal for a living, black lungs, black face, making a minimum wage, right? Getting some fat old white guy rich, and I say, yo, Billy Bob, do you want your daughter and your son doing the same stuff you doing in 20 years from now? Do you want your little baby boy growing up and doing this shit for $20 an hour? No health insurance, no bonuses, no perks, no stock options. Do you want Billy Bob doing this? I wonder what they'll say to me, right? But take politics out of it, right? Right? Me and my wife, our household, we do pretty good, right? But if you came to me and say, do I want my kids doing as good as we are? No, I want them doing better than us, right? And that's what this is all about. It's for our kids doing better than us, right? So my daughter doesn't have to go to work in a leaky, in New York City, right? We don't live in fucking New Jersey or Connecticut or Vermont. It's fucking New York City, right? And shit is leaking on us. I don't want that happen to my daughter 20 years from now. I don't be stepping over homeless people. Alright? Take politics out of it. Take Republicans, Democrats, take that shit out of it. right? It's what you want for America. Biden's trying to make America great again. Actually trying to make America great again. It's gonna cost money. America is not a cheap place. I don't know who told these rich white Republicans America is a cheap place that we don't have to spend money to fix shit. Right? When it comes to everyone else but rich people, it's gonna be too expensive to fix. Oh, do we really need to fix that? Oh, it's socialism. But when it's tax break for rich people, when it's this for rich people, that for rich people, oh, it's patriotism. It's we have to help fight for the American dream, right? But what about the other? What you said, 99%? What is it? 350 million people in this country? What about the other 349 million people in this country that aren't billionaires or millionaires, right? What about the other 150 million people that aren't Republicans, right? If you split it in half or whatever, right? What about the whole half of the country that are Democrats? Because we're not even political. I don't want to be stepping over homeless people going to work, right? Two of my best friends are cops. I don't want them going to work knowing that the community hates them, right? Because of some shit on YouTube of cops killing people, unarmed people, right? I don't want their community that they work in hating them. And some fake Blue Lives Matter flag counter protesters saying we support the police, right? Only when it benefits them, right? It's BS, right? I don't want that for my best friends that work NYPD that go out every night, right? That's what all this is about, right? Republicans, you know what? Come better, right? I always tell people my granddad was Ronald Reagan Republican, right? That's when the Republican ticket had a lot of shit on it, right? Now it's just abortion, gun rights, and tax breaks for rich people. I don't know what else they talk about, right? I even tell my friend, like, what the hell? What is being a Republican is? Gun rights? Digging coal? Right? I don't get what I don't know. I'm done.